Uber, a company that models everything, burned through its entire 2026 AI budget in 4 months. Their CTO said, quote, "I'm back to the drawing board because the budget I thought I would need is blown away already." The creator of OpenClaw posted a screenshot. 1 month, 603 billion tokens, a $1.3 million bill. OpenAI actually covers his tab. Nobody is covering yours. And Sam Altman told a room of enterprise customers, quote, "It's kind of become a meme now. My company spent my entire 2026 budget in Q1. Can you make this more efficient?" Here's what makes this strange. AI prices are falling. Per million tokens, models are cheaper than they have ever been. And the bills are exploding anyway. Cheaper tokens, bigger bills, both at once. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why that happens. It comes down to 3 multipliers, and you'll have a 5-layer defense built almost entirely from free open source tools that real teams are using to cut AI bills by half or more. No theory, numbers, tools, and a Monday plan. Start with the scale of what changed. 6.5 years ago, the single biggest token user at OpenAI burned about 100,000 tokens a month. Today, 100,000 tokens a month is the global per person average, and OpenAI's current top customer runs about 100 billion tokens a month. Altman's own words, "It's still a 1 million times increase in 6.5 years. The price per token fell. Usage grew a million x. Your bill doesn't follow the price, it follows the usage. And usage isn't exploding because people chat more. It's agents. A chat question is one call. The model reads your message, writes an answer, done. A few hundred tokens. An agent doesn't make one call. A coding agent reads files, runs tools, checks its own work, fixes what it broke. Dozens of calls for one task. Tens of thousands of tokens where chat used hundreds. That's the reality behind Uber's numbers. Engineers averaging 150 to 250 a month. Power users at $500 to $2,000 each. Their own CTO spent $1,200 in a single 2-hour demo. Uber's answer confirmed to Bloomberg a $1,500 monthly cap per person, per tool. Now the mechanism that actually breaks budgets. If you remember one thing from this video, make it this. Models have no memory between calls. So every time an agent makes a call, it resends everything that came before. Call 20 carries calls 1 through 19. That first message you sent, you pay for it again on every single call. 20 turns in, you've bought it 20 times. Run the math on just a system prompt. 2,000 tokens. Resent across a 200 call session. That's 400,000 input tokens for the same instructions. This is why your bill doesn't grow in a straight line. It curves. Third multiplier. Not all tokens cost the same. Output tokens, the ones the model writes, run about 5 times the price of input tokens. GPT 5.6. Sol. $5 per million in, $30 per million out. And reasoning models pay their thinking at output prices. OpenAI's top reasoning tier, right now, charges $180 per million output tokens. Even Anthropic says it plainly about deeper reasoning. It, quote, produces better results on harder problems, but can add cost and latency on simpler ones. So the smartest model isn't just pricier per token. It burns more tokens per answer. Send it your easy work, and you pay the premium twice. And here's the part that tells you this isn't getting fixed for you. The squeeze goes all the way to the top. Dylan Patel, the most read analyst in AI hardware, on Anthropic, quote, they're at 20 billion ARR. The margins are sub 50%. That's 13 or 14 billion of compute that it's running on, rental cost wise. Epoch AI estimates OpenAI's gross margin on inference at roughly 30%. Normal software runs 60 to 80. And Jensen Huang stood on the GTC stage this year and told data center owners inference is your workload and tokens are your new commodity. When even the labs are squeezed on tokens, nobody upstream is going to rescue your bill. You have to engineer it. Here's how. The defense is 5 layers: measure, cache, route, compress, schedule. Each one works on its own. Stacked, they compound. And nearly every tool I'm about to show you is free and open source. I verified every star count and every number this morning. Layer 1: Measure. Right now, most teams can't answer one question: what does a single task cost you? Not a token, a task. That's the number that decides whether a feature makes money. Two open source tools own this: Langfus, 31,000 stars on GitHub, traces every model call in every agent step with the cost attached. Helicon, 6,000 stars, is even simpler. Change one line, point your API base URL at it, and every request is logged, priced, and searchable. Do nothing else today but this. Put one of them in front of your traffic and let it run for a week. Every team I've seen finds the same thing. 3 workflows are most of the bill. Layer 2: Caching, the highest return move for agents because of the resend mechanic. Providers will sell you repeated tokens at a massive discount if you mark them cacheable. On Anthropic, a cache read costs 1/10 of normal input price. On OpenAI, cached input on Sol drops from $5 to 50 cents. The fine print: cache writes cost a little extra, about 1.25x. So it pays off when content actually repeats. But in agent traffic, repetition is the whole game: system prompts, tool definitions, conversation history. Then verify it's actually working. Your usage response has a field called cache read input tokens. If that field is 0, you are paying full price for tokens you've already sent. There's also semantic caching. GPT Cache, 8,000 stars, claims 10x savings by reusing answers to similar questions. Worth knowing, but honestly, that repo's been quiet since mid 2025. Quick pause, because the next layer is the single biggest percentage cut in this video. If the caching field trick alone just explained a chunk of your bill, that's what every video here is. Real talk. 90% of you watching haven't subscribed. On Facebook, subscribe is the supporter button. That is what keeps the lights on here. On YouTube, it's free and it tells the algorithm to send you more. Subscribe to support us. And if these breakdowns are worth real money to you, the join button makes you a member of the lab. Okay? Layer 3, the big one. Layer 3, routing. Send every request to the cheapest model that can actually do the job. Look at the spread you're routing across. DeepSeek, V4 Flash, 14 cents per million tokens in, 28 cents out. Frontier reasoning tiers, up to $180 out. That is a spread of more than 500x for a request that might be summarize this email. And most requests are routine. The team behind Chatbot Arena built Root LLM open source, 5,000 stars, and their published result says it straight. Costs cut by up to 85%, while keeping 95% of GPT-4 performance on standard benchmarks. The pattern is simple: cheap model by default, escalate only when the task is genuinely hard, or the cheap answer fails. In practice, routing lives in a gateway. One endpoint all your AI traffic flows through, so you can swap models without touching code. Light LLM is the community standard, 54,000 stars, MIT licensed, 100 plus providers behind one OpenAI compatible endpoint with spend tracking, budgets, and per team virtual keys built in. Stripe is on the adopter list, right in the README. Podkey's open source gateway, 12,000 stars, adds guardrails and caching. And if you'd rather not host anything, OpenRouter gives you 400 plus models behind one key for a small platform fee. If you run AI for a team, the gateway is the move because a budget on every key means the surprise Monday bill just can't happen. Layer 4: Compression. Shrink what the model reads and writes. On the input side, Microsoft's LLM Lingua, 6,500 stars. Published research at EMNLP and ACL2 compresses prompts up to 20x with minimal quality loss, and their long context version improved retrieval answers by 21% while using a quarter of the tokens. On the output side, remember the pricing. Output tokens cost around 5x. So every unnecessary paragraph the model writes is a 5x surcharge. Constraining output length is literally a discount. I've gone deep on both sides of this before: the caveman video for output and headroom for input. Both linked in the description if you want the full builds. Layer 5: Schedule. Anything that doesn't need an answer this second: nightly reports, embeddings, evaluations, data backfills, goes to the batch API. Anthropic, OpenAI, and Google all sell batch processing at 50% off. Flat, half price for tolerating up to a day of turnaround. And it stacks with caching. Most teams have 20 to 40% of their volume that nobody is waiting on in real time. Moving it is the closest thing to free money in this entire video. So here's your Monday plan in order. Screenshot this. 1. Put Helicone or Langfuse in front of your traffic. One line. Let it run a week. 2. Find your 3 most expensive workflows and price them per task. 3. Turn on prompt caching, where prefixes repeat. Then check that cache reads are actually non-zero. 4. Stand up light LLM. Cheap model as the default, an escalation rule for the hard stuff, and a budget key for every team. 5. Move everything non-urgent to batch. Teams that stack all 5 don't shave 10%. Published results and case studies land between 50 and 90. And from now on, track one number: cost per task. That's the number the business actually feels. Here's the transformation. Last month, the AI bill was something that happened to you, a number you were nervous to open. Now, it's a system you designed. You know what a task costs. You chose which model runs it. And when the bill moves, you know why before finance asks. That's the real divide right now. The teams winning with AI aren't the ones spending the most. They're the ones who know exactly what they're buying. I've packed all of it into one free PDF, the Token Economics Playbook. The 5 layers with every tool and install link, the caching fine print, the routing decision card, and the Monday plan. Comment the word tokenomics and I'll send it to you free, or grab it at hyperautomationlabs.co/free/tokenomics. Just getting started with AI tools. My step-by-step beginner guides are linked in the description. I post quick AI moves every day on Instagram and Facebook. And the full deep dives live here on YouTube. And round 2 is loaded. I want to build this stack live. Light LLM, routing rules, caching, the cost dashboard, from zero, on camera, with the bill on screen. If you want that build, type router in the comments. Tokenomics. Go.